slice of mysterious Warptorio meat, let's look for an uncharted world for Warp Zone 56. Because that's what we do, right? We're lost in space with this new technology. We've got this giant concrete magic carpet of interdimensional space travel. We should explore all the worlds, or we should explore this world, and then eventually make our way home with all this new information, and behold the wondrous possibilities that this new technology can build with humanity, or the other way around, whichever is cool. So yeah, we've got a lot of rocket components now, which is nice. We had to extend this because we'd filled up on rocket fuel, which was crazy. We got a lot of LDS. We've got a lot of rocket control units as well, more than I expected, which is nice. So this means a couple of things. First of all, we're going to have to build a silo somewhere. I guess this stuff is going over there somehow. I guess we are kind of unpacking this in some kind of way or something. Yeah, I'm going to worry about that later. Maybe there's a way through. But it also means that if we're getting towards launching rockets, then we are approaching the compelling intersection of my unreliable narration for this series and also Warptorio's unreliable narration, and also the base game's Factorio's unreliable narration, which we're going to have to figure out how all of those overlap and deal with each other. Yeah, and then we've got some other, like, rail stuff that I was figuring out, trying to figure out what we're going to do with that. Still not entirely sure, but yeah, we need a rocket silo to launch all these rocket parts, because we've got a lot of them. If we are launching rockets, we'd probably also better build satellites, especially as we've pushed through basically all the techs we can do, other than a couple of these impactful ones. So let's start on some of those that don't need, that have everything other than space science. So I guess we got to launch some satellites as well, which is also blue chips. And then the other things I was looking at is, let's finish off the atomic bomb as we wander downstairs and do a little bit of a base tour for other things that have changed. Give me this, I will need it. Yeah, so the RCUs are going pretty strong and doing a bunch of things. The power plant that used to be here is now down here because it turned out that 3 of these things exactly fit in the width of the corridor, which is pretty cool. We've got the steel and stone thing that makes a lot of steel. Currently we are kind of low on stone for these furnaces, which is a bit of a shame. So we've got to plug some stone and iron ore in here pretty quickly. The rest of this spaghetti mess is still doing spaghetti mess things, which we're pretty happy about. Further downstairs, so other techs we have to do that we can finish off is this Warp Strider thing, which is, I was looking at the Spidertrons and power armor and going, that's a lot of blue chips, and then also noticed that it was also portable fusion reactors, a lot of silos, a lot of rocket silos. That's all a huge amount of blue chips. And downstairs, because there's a couple of things we need to do downstairs, we are currently kind of short on green chips, so this thing has been extended a bit, and these belts are all upgraded. And which of these? I have the right one. Let's go and get the left one, because we're going to go and need to put that somewhere. This has got stuff in it, so it's pretty happy, but we are probably going to need to harvest more copper at some point pretty soon. And the iron one is also kind of full. We've got the Warp Strider tick, so that's nice. Oh, actually, the other thing that we're doing as we're checking these staircases is we've got a thing that adds an extra pipe and upgrades belt speed and chest side of all platform logistics. So let's, as we're here, just check whether or not this isn't one that gets extra pipes, is it? Whereas this is one that will get extra pipes, and that space is kind of clear. This is the same as the other side because it's the same copy-paste. On the boiler floor, we also can handle having a pipe here without breaking anything. We did also want to, like, pop down here and have a look at this before we go and do, like, the security push and talk about all the unreliable narration stuff, because I've handcrafted a bunch of stuff, including that heat pipe there. So yeah, all of this has been refit somewhat, so that we now have... Yeah, this is running the opposite direction to what was previously happening. Previously we had, like, boilers like this. Well, okay, heat exchangers in this direction rather than this direction, but it turned out that this substation didn't cover the entire platform. So now we've got heat exchangers and heat pipes and tanks up one end that don't need substation coverage. All the turbines have substation coverage. The ratios here are pretty weird. We've got a 2x3 reactor, so we've got 800 megawatts to play with. We've got 15 heat exchangers here, so each of these 3 blocks is 300 megawatts. So we can process 300 megawatts of heat out of the heat pipes, but then also we've got 1.5 times as many turbines as we need with these steam tanks. So we're kind of planning on... Can we actually... Oh, we can actually run both of these at the same time. That's not necessarily what I was expecting. Yeah, we are planning to be able to do large peaks and troughs of... And let's also check all these stairwells as we come out. So this one is going to break. What is this? Water. Which is going to break the petrochem. Okay, but it's... This one is... Yeah, so if we did this, then the new pipe is going to appear. Is that the only thing that is going to break? I think that's going to be the only thing that's going to break. So let's get this platform logistics thing. Adds an extra pipe. Yeah, so we have got this extra pipe here. Did I want acid in that? I don't think I did. How did acid get in that? Oh no, one of these did want acid. One of these did want acid because we are making batteries over here. So instead of this, we just move this back one tile, and now the acid can go into the top one, which is kind of what we wanted there, which is nice. So that's restored, and then also we broke the water because this pipe here now wants to be the water. If on this level, yeah, we've got this thing as water is going up. So I think we have restored all the things that we had just broken by getting that upgrade. So the acid is still coming down here, and these batteries are not making anything. Oh yeah, because we also need a whole lot of batteries for... adds an extra pipe. Where does the extra pipe go? I do not see where the extra pipe goes, which is going to be interesting. But let's do a lot of this and then stop it before it finishes. Oh, and then also, okay, there was a power pole here, which we have broken. So sure, we're going to do that, so we restore the sulfur. Yeah, these guys, we also converted this Coverix machine back to the uranium processing because it turned out that, oh, we actually need a lot more uranium. Uranium is a thing we can fill up on again. That, yeah, we were going through so many of these boring, sad rocks with the ammunition that, and also we've now got a lot of green ammunition, so I guess we could do that, that we actually needed more green rocks, and we also have a ton of fuel, so that's all kind of fine. And yeah, the LDS has nearly fully backed up into the build, I guess because Purple Science is running again. So I think we've restored all of those belts. I think the thing I want to do, even before the security push, is figure out where we can build... Does not fit. Where we can build accumulators. Because I would like to get these just going kind of quickly. And all of these are still taking from the belt that is slow, which is good. And then these here is a position that we can make accumulators. Because we will want a lot of accumulators in order to have all the satellites that we want. So the thing here, and then let's just have... we're not going to need big things here, are we? We can just do these. And then we should probably also... I don't have all the upgraded speed modules that I really want, so let's grab all of this, and yeah, blue chips, he said. I want a lot of blue chips. Let's just handcraft a bunch more speed module upgrades, because we can. Yeah, let's just get all of those into the queue. Let's suspend this tech, and then, yeah, I think we're just going back to... Here's a tech that we can't do anything with yet. We've got to get all of these guys made, and then I also wanted to make this thing fast. Crafting speed 4.6, sure. Where is a place that we can make solar panels? Here's Did I want to make solar panels here because we have the copper here? Maybe. We're still making solar panels at the rate of... Actually, if I take some steel, I don't really have the capacity in my inventory to take steel. But if we go down here, here is not really a place that has green chips and copper. So maybe this is a spot where we also just try and make solar panels somewhere. Where else has got green chips and copper? That isn't already a complete mess. Okay, we're going to worry about that later. We're going to go and do the security stuff, because I did notice there were some bases that were kind of close. And yeah, we've got this perimeter. The bullets on this side look kind of weird. Some of these turrets have yellow ammo in them still, because all we did there is we grabbed all of... Oh, we don't actually have the space. Yeah, we grab all of that stuff, we grab all this ammo out of the turrets just to, like, clean most of it off, and then we come back and don't worry about it. And yeah, these turrets are absurdly strong now. We've got, compared to the usual 35 damage, we are now upgrading that to 170 damage per bullet, which is pretty strong. So yeah, we've got... Do we need oil? We don't really need oil. We do need to do some security stuff, and then... Yeah, like, this space definitely has to go away. Oh, we did want stone in here for the purple science, which is also not a thing we've really got yet. Yeah, let's go connect up some... I also don't have any grenades, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe military science has all of those. I mean, we're gonna need defenses here anyway, so, you know, we'll just do both of these things at the same time. And yeah, is this gonna be too much stone? It's probably not gonna be too much stone. So I think what we should do... I mean, can I... Open question. Can I actually... do commentary of... Maybe... Why aren't these... Yeah, there's guys elsewhere in the base. So we've got a lot of laser turrets as well. So we're going to just throw a couple of laser turrets around here, because... who knows which direction these guys will get attacked from. We're doing everything with green ammo now, which is pretty ridiculously unfair. But also, whatever, yeah, those guys have got more ammunition than they need. And then this stone actually just wants to go in here. And we probably can just... Was it this line? It was not that line. Cool. And then also, let's get... Like, my impression is... This setup, especially if we... Yeah, this is I think the last of the turrets that doesn't have green ammo, that probably wants green ammo, and maybe these bullets will get fired at smaller dudes. Maybe it doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't know if the green ammo will one-shot small snappers, because I'm pretty sure the snappers have maybe 200 hit points, which is... You know, slightly more, but, you know, two-tapping small snappers, still great value. Yeah, maybe these bullets will run out and they'll just naturally get to green ammo. Maybe they won't. I don't think I mind. Let's also get... Do we need some copper in here as well? I actually need to go in there. Yeah, this section needs copper. And, yeah, we just need to, you know, get the base running, and then I guess as long as... I think as long as we push before... Yeah, as long as we push before the night phase starts, I will be happy enough. Do we also want some patch grenades? I did complain about not having grenades. I think maybe we get some patch grenades, but I don't think we worry about that yet. I think we are defending this with... I think we're defending this with the lasers, because we just gave away all the green ammo. So that's also still fine. I mean, these will probably need reinforcement of landmines if we're trying to get as far as big biters. Oh, interesting. That is not a failure mode I've seen before. Just kind of clicked in the wrong place. So this one with mostly copper, and then some amount... Yeah, all of these are currently pointing the wrong way because we were feeding things in, but we also need to get... Yeah, this one can go... Will it fit through here? It will. We can make it fit there. and like so, and then yeah, then we can get some copper and a bit of iron into the side that's making the red chips, and then this one, we really want, yeah, we really want to have some upgraded things here as well. Yeah, and we're kind of, I do feel a little bad about being stuck for science at the moment, but also we kind of need to get the satellite running. That's going to be a mess, never mind. Well, I mean, all of these things are temporary, we'll clear them up later. These things here actually don't need to exist at all at this point, do they? Because this whole section, by hypothesis, is now defended by those laser turrets. So the ones facing to the sides we'll keep, but the ones facing the top and bottom will handle this kind of stuff. And then we're going through here to here. Can we? It's specifically just on one side. Okay, fine. In that case, I think we run this one into one of these boxes, and then this other one into the other box, so that, yeah, I mean, they'll sort themselves out on this side, but it means that each of these, yeah, the stone and the iron won't block each other when they get around to doing that. And then we've also allegedly plugged mostly copper and also some iron into this side, so we actually need a bit more iron. That's probably fine. We can probably handle that by just throwing an extra, yeah, driving through these gaps. A little more precise than they used to be, but it's probably still fine. We can deal with that by just, yeah, moving. Do I not have? Okay, maybe I don't have those anymore. Defense and more iron, and that's all fine. And yeah, we should probably go and do some security stuff now, which means we need to go and get the bullets. And then, did I not pick up the harvester? I thought I picked up the harvester. Teleporter. Why do I have 2 teleporter gates? I don't know how I did that. The warp is strange. Yeah, really no idea how that happened. I didn't think I was supposed to be able to have more than a couple of those. We do need uranium now. We've got kind of enough of most of this stuff to be keeping on with things. Yeah, just give me all this ammo. I'm sure we'll find use for it. Why do I have this steel? Because I was going to be figuring out what to do with, yeah, with the same place as laser turrets, but not copper. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how I was going to make. Let's also just empty these guys out at the moment. Do I have? I don't have any others. Yeah, I was going to try and figure out how to make solar panels, and that's still a thing that I'm not completely sure about, and we're just going to walk away from it. And we're going to go and push these bases. We also didn't get any more grenades, but we're probably fine. And we've got to drive through this gap again. And yeah, let's go and, while we're doing this, I wonder if I can simultaneously do this and also talk about the various unreliable narration and why the warp is weird. Because, yeah, basically every layer of this gameplay has lies in it. I'm nice enough to tell you that I've lied to you. Warptorio kind of isn't, and in the same kind of... Was that a turret dying? That was a turret dying. That's super disappointing. I thought that was going to be enough, but then again they did have a lot of different dudes to shoot, and they were still just one-tapping everything, and we've lost a pile of ammunition, but also, whatever. I don't really need oil. I would rather have uranium than oil, but if we can find some uranium that's kind of in the same vicinity as oil, I mean, I could also just be doing this more carefully, or I could have grenades or whatever. There's no reason at all to be losing entire stacks of uranium ammo, but also we've got hundreds of them now, I guess. But we can also just do this in a car. This has got a lot of worms. It's probably going to take care of it. Yeah, it did. It's fine. Yeah, so... Why are you still? I guess I did not have range on all of those things. It's probably fine. Do we have... We've got enough of... Is this enough of the map scanned? I don't think this is enough of the map scanned. We've got enough power grid now. Oh, and I also wanted to... Yeah, this is the fuel reprocessing trick that we're doing. Although I guess... I mean, this does have... That does have the kind of rocks in it. I do get the sad uranium from that I could use for bullets, but we could also just mine more uranium. I hope I didn't leave any gun turrets over here. That's not the one I wanted. No, we didn't leave any gun turrets, which is nice. Yeah, so I mean, this warp stuff is filled with all kinds of unreliable narration, but the interesting thing about the Warptorio unreliable narration is it kind of turns up at the same point as the regular Factorio unreliable narration, in that, first of all, this reactor, which is, yeah, the main warp thing we're talking about, it's a failed experiment, and then down the bottom it says, it will destroy the planet it's on if left unmanaged, so try to build a rocket and get away. And first of all, I've not fueled this thing in ages. I've used all kinds of its special abilities. It's sat at max temperature with no fuel. It's still fine. It doesn't seem to be unstable in that sense. So that's weird and a little bit unreliable. But then also, the other, in a way that kind of overlaps pretty heavily with the normal Factorio unreliable narration. Yeah, Factorio, even as a game, just lies to you, but does a real good job of hiding it, is that it said, try and build a rocket and get away, except we're not building rockets to get away, we're building rockets to get better at doing the warp tech stuff. We've got a whole lot of, you know, we can make this beacon even better if we launch a rocket and don't get away. We can... I just clicked on this one randomly, and there's apparently warp modules. I don't think I knew there were warp modules. That's a lot of modules. That's a lot of modules. Wow, okay. Yeah, we can launch 3 rockets and not get away, and instead get this new kind of module thing. So it doesn't look like we are launching rockets to get away from... It doesn't look like we're launching rockets to get away from the warp core. It looks like we are kind of doing a little bit of the opposite. And then also, I was under the impression, and I don't remember whether this is now something that I have forgotten, or whether it's a thing that... There's uranium here. There's uranium that's kind of close to oil here. There's uranium here that's close to this oil. So I think we're going for this uranium and this oil, because we probably need oil? Yeah. Are these belts still moving? They're moving enough. Are these belts still moving? These belts are still moving enough. Base is happy. That's probably enough on this side for a bit, even though it is desert. I mean, these ones here probably need to go as well. But let's go over to the side where we can start grabbing uranium. Yeah, the other unreliable narration overlap, and we have to figure out what all of this means, or not, is... yeah, there's this tech here which says Warptorio Homeworld, which says allows us to settle a planet. So are we settling the planet with the warp reactor in the middle of it? Which is weird. But I was also under the impression from other things that I think the mod had told me, that we were trying to get home to get back to the rest of humanity and take the warp tech with us, but it looks like we are, like, based on some of those other techs, we're actually settling a planet, which is unexpected. So there's at least a couple of strange things there. We allegedly want to get away from this warp reactor, except we kinda don't. We're trying to get back to humanity, except we also kinda don't. And yeah, there's this kind of similar way to Factorio's key, like, yeah, unreliable narration, in that Factorio is also supposed to be a game about how we're stuck on a planet and we build a rocket to escape the planet, except we don't. We stay on the planet, we build a war machine. Actually, let's go and do these bases first and get this teleporter down. Yeah, we stay on the planet, we build a war machine to, like, dominate and annihilate the local species of the planet. These pretty big bases, I want to try a thing. That'd be funny. Yeah, and then when we get to launching a rocket to get away, what do we do instead of launching a rocket? We get better at mining. Like, we launch rockets into space to figure out how to get better at mining and how to get better at using bots. So there's no, like, we're not advancing any particular cultural goals. We're not making a world habitable. We're just staying there and making the industry better. What does the industry do? Oh, it's all these other techs that are basically just the war machine. Like, Factorio is a game where you go to a place, you allegedly crash land, you build a war machine, and then the war machine just expands. You never leave, you just make the war machine better, and you make the resource collection better, which you use to make the war machine better. So all of that is kind of, yeah, people might see where this is going. I think this is going to be funny. Did that do what it needed to? I think that worked. Did that have range on everything? Yeah, it did. So, yeah. Warp is weird. That's a nice way we can use a little harvester platform. Hi guys, I've got an interdimensional thing that we can just drop here and all these weapons turn up and you have a bad time, and it was kind of entertaining the way those guys were somewhat overlapped. And yeah, I mean, that kind of harvester trick will probably work in a bunch of places, especially as I've set up. We can have more of this. Why do I not have... I don't have mining drills. Have I given one of the harvesters mining drills? Okay. I don't know how many harvesters this mining drill... How many drills this harvester has. But we're just going to drop the harvester down. Then the harvester network will build all those mining drills. And we have taken 32 mining drills away from the harvester. And the harvester still has 79. And then the blueprint we want to drop has 70, so we're fine. Thanks, harvester. Thanks for your help for the second time. And then we can just drop one of these two teleporters. I don't know why I have... I bet I already had the teleporter, and then when I got the pipes upgrade, it dropped a new teleporter, and now I've got both of those teleporters, and I don't know what's going to happen if I try and get... Yeah, if I try and change one of those things. Oh, and we've also got blue belts here, which is exciting. We're still going to just put red belts of stuff in. And this one goes... Yeah, this one goes over here. Yeah? Yeah. So that one goes over there. We then need to connect power. And then one of these... It's the top one has acid? It's the middle one that has acid. That's reasonably inconvenient, and I don't think there's a whole lot I can do about that. And then why don't I have acid? I don't have acid because I'm making all the batteries, and I'm using all the batteries to make all of the accumulators, which we can't even do anything with yet. And I don't have enough pipe. Okay, we're gonna handcraft some more pipe. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, because we want pipe here, and this pole actually can't go there at all. So yeah, so now we have to figure out... Oh, and we're also making all those modules. I guess go back to making those modules afterwards. I would like speed module upgrades. Yeah, we have to figure out how, for plot purposes... It's not that one. It's this one over here, isn't it? Sure. Yeah, for plot purposes, how... Oh, this one... Is this middle one the oil? No, the bottom one is the oil. Okay, because we also want to take the oil the other way to get to the other oil. Yeah, so we've got to figure out how to resolve the plot of this thing. In terms of... Where am I getting attacked from? This probably is not getting attacked from the bottom, but maybe a little bit. I've got 25 of these guns left. Some of those... Yeah, that's probably more than we need. That one is sad. Yeah, we've got to figure out how we resolve this plot, and basically how we feel about the universe, I guess, because... Yeah, because apparently we're settling worlds and not actually staying there. Apparently, in the normal Factorio way, we're also kind of building a war machine here, which is... not super unsurprising. We want to leave... Let's leave 2 radars here. Let's leave a radar over here, which we should probably defend. I need more laser turrets. And then also, yeah, are we going... back to the rest of the humanity or not? What is... I think I've got a pipe in there that was a bit of a mess. Oh yeah, there's a pipe already over here, sure, whatever. Because we need to go all the way down there. So let's... yeah, I guess do something like that. Is that connected? Pipe and tree. Yeah, trees and pipes are not great friends. Yeah, sure. Okay, so now we can move this over here, and then we've got these pump jacks. Because yeah, we were told that we were figuring out how to get this warp platform home in order to, and yeah, with one of the side goals of making everything better for humanity with all this new warp tech. Except we've got a settle homeworld tech that is now close enough to the tree for us to be like kind of looking at it, which is weird and interesting. But also from the perspective of, yeah, I think the reason why I wanted all these Module 2s is I want to Module 2 all of those guys, and then now we've got oil and... now we've got oil and uranium turning up in the base, so that's fine. Let's do that, and then let's also... yeah, we're gonna need a couple more of these laser turrets, but I'm pretty sure I've got laser turrets sitting around, and then I also wanted another radar here. Oh yeah, I just noticed that I had this in my inventory again. For a couple of times I've like gone, hey, let's craft one of these, I would like one of these, it's nice, and then realized I've still got modular armor which doesn't fit this and anything else at the same time, so we should probably go and do that. We should keep stabilizing. So we're collecting a bunch of resources now. Oh yeah, we didn't want to push those bases. We don't have enough ammo to push those bases. We've got to go back and collect more stuff anyway. Yeah, get all these trees out of my way. Why are we doing this? Yeah, we're going to leave some trees here, and then stuff I don't really care about. It'll be fine. I don't think I can drive... like, I can technically drive a car through the teleport. I just don't think there's enough space here for particularly happy things to happen to the car when we do that. So that's all fine. We want some amount of this ammo, and yeah, we've got some trains now. I still don't know what I'm doing with these trains. We've still got a lot of beacons to play with. We've got a lot of... what was I looking for? Did I want grenades? Let's get a couple of grenades. I was looking for laser turrets, which are here, and we actually have... we've kind of built up a bit of a stockpile of laser turrets because I need to do perimeter things, but not having decided what we're doing about that yet. And yeah, this guy, this thing that is in... I mean, is it even... it's probably not even... it's saying it's a reactor. It's probably not even a reactor. It's probably like a blister on like the some tentacle of a larger tentacle of some elder god that we've just figured out how to use as a power plant. But the thing that struck me in relation to that statement is... let's get all this back. Yeah, so we've also got all of these rail sections unlocked now. So this platform in the sort of four-dimensional spike way has pushed as far into our universe as it will. But then the thing that struck me is, like, what's the difference between a long spike and a tentacle anyway? This thing basically is a blister on a tentacle. So we don't necessarily know what we're piloting, and we're still doing this firebreak stuff of destroying these universes behind us. But then, like, I'm still not sure how accurate that is. The thing that's probably true is, like, most of these things are all simultaneously true and kind of not true. And the thing I'm most confident about is, yeah, maybe we don't need to be stabilizing that much yet. Mostly no one understands. Yeah, this space has to go. Let's get rid of these two as well. I'm not expecting the warp stuff to be comprehensible by humans, because the entire point of that is it's some giant multi-dimensional, non-understood thing. So we're kind of creating this firebreak. But the other possibility that I wondered about, which is also pretty true, and like, yeah, part of that is... like, we can apparently choose which worlds we're going to now. So what does that mean if we are trying to create a firebreak? And it struck me that, well, like, we can still go to any of these places, and then, like, the warp might just let us have detours. What's that? Okay, I guess we gotta... Yeah, we'll have that. Yeah, the warp might just let us go to these places, and then they could be detours, they could be... I mean, there could be options of places to create the firebreak. There could be just... Yeah, it could be, here's a place that's not in the firebreak that the platform will let us go. We might be, like, slightly overriding the platform's desires for a section, but then we still go back afterwards anyway. Yeah, I kind of want to destroy these ones, and maybe even this one, because this pollution is just going straight over that lake. And maybe we've done a little too much stabilizing a little too early, because this is already super close to the limit of what my power grid can do. But yeah, because the other thing that struck me is, and I thought about this with the sushi belts as well, there's like, if I'm making weird patterns of sushi belts, there's this idea that turns up, and I think it's like a throwaway thing at the start of Good Omens, which is like someone... I think it's, yeah, Crowley moving motorway construction around, like, through a combination of bribes and then just, like, moving cones at night so the motorway gets built in a different place. So that, I think it's probably London's M25 ends up in the shape of a sigil of, like, ancient misery, so that all the cars driving around London are... yeah, enacting the rune of despair as they are doing their morning commute, which is a great idea. And then also struck me that... Is this going to be a harvester trick? I think we're going to do the Oh, there's a tree in the way. That's super disappointing. And there's a tree in the way on the other side as well. Okay, let's see if we can do a thing where we can hit this tree and then get away, because I don't think we can put the harvester down if there are any... Oh, we can, because that just teleports, doesn't it? It like swaps... The harvester swaps anything that's in the world with whatever is... Yeah, we go like here. It's fine. Some of these worms might outrange my... They might outrange the flamethrower turrets. It looks like they do. I'm kind of surprised that they're not shooting at the flamethrower turrets. I guess they're all small. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Oh well. Yeah, just throw a couple of turrets into the fire. I'm sure they'll be fine. Give me this back. Oh, actually kind of... This is also subtly a check on whether or not we need to start harvesting more iron. And the answer to that is not yet. So we've now lost... like 3 turrets this episode. I think we're just like straight up rolling into the negligence of the thing. And yeah, the thing that struck me about this kind of runes and sigils of despair is that maybe in addition to creating a firebreak, maybe one of the things that's destroying the universes and or just like relevant to the passage of us through the warp is that... What are you guys doing? Go away. Leave my car alone. Maybe our passage through the multiverse is... yeah, through the presence of the tentacles that are these multi-dimensional structures of which we live on a 3-dimensional slice. Maybe... Is there anything else I want to kill? Let's kill these guys. Maybe we are inscribing upon the multiverse runes of something. I don't know. It's super tricky to... Was that a car? Yeah, it was a car. Super tricky to imagine what kind of thing might be being drawn on the scale of the multiverse by things that are planning to draw stuff on the scale of the multiverse. Like, it's... I mean, it's not good. But then also makes me wonder, like, why are we in this? Why are humans... Why is some human thing required at all? Yeah, let's get rid of these guys. That was probably a bot dying? Yeah, we're... Oh, 6 bots dying. Good job, guys. This is like your most effective mission in a while, and my most negligent mission in a while. Let's not leave the car there, and then let's get rid of all these guys. And we're fine. Do we want to push those ones as well? Let's go and push those as well. Let's use coal because we don't really need to be in a hurry. Is this a harvester trick? No, because there are kind of armies in the way. We could put a harvester here. They're not really that close though, are they? Okay, let's see if we can do... See if we can deal with some of these standing armies. And yeah, the harvester kind of needs to go in here if we're doing that, doesn't it? And I don't know if that will work because these guys are constantly running at us. I don't think there are any rocks in the way. We might also just have angered the bases and now we're just going to get a continuous stream of dudes, which is a bit of a shame. You guys can all go away, and then, you know, they're just grouping. It's not going to work. Maybe we can still just... Because I think that teleports a bunch of dudes in here, and then... Where you going? Yeah. Harvesters as an offensive tool, pretty strange. And then, yeah, some of the space is dealt with, some of this other base is dealt with. We're still getting shelled. They have their own Roboport network, so it's not really a concern. And then we can just jump up and do this stuff, and fortunately we're out of range, so we're not getting fired at by the lasers. But I think that might be... Yeah, get this back. We need to kind of put the iron harvester somewhere. Is that a thing I want to do yet? I mean, it's pretty easy to do. Let's go down here. Let's go and push this base, and then we can put the harvesters down here. And yeah, like the other thing that struck me, once we are doing a like lost in space, get this thing, we can kind of figure out how to use it as a reactor, is that it's also kind of a Prometheus story. We've gone somewhere, we have like somehow, which way do we go? We go to the this way. We've gone somewhere, we've like figured out how to steal some kind of fire from the gods. It wasn't originally fire for the gods. It was just like, yeah, a scab on an elbow or something. But we are somehow in cohorts with one of these tentacles, which we are driving around the universe, simultaneously destroying parallel worlds to create a fire break. Is that... Should we use this one instead? It's just there. Let's use that one instead. But also, at the same time, having... Which side is this on? It's on the side, isn't it? Yeah. Also, at the same time, having... Left harvester. Yeah, having the worlds we destroy write some kind of rune on the multiverse. Is this the... We need to... This is the right way around. We just go... Oh, yeah. Then we turn off our bots. This is not the right way around. I do need to flip this. These guys have more than... Yeah, 79. There's less than that there. That's all fine. Yeah, inscribing some kind of sigil on the multiverse in a way that's a bit strange. And then also... Being some... You're two spitters by yourself. Okay, I don't know why. You're fine. Yeah, inscribing some kind of sigil on the multiverse in a kind of strange way. And then also, I think... Like, it's still weird that a human, like a fleshy, meaty human engineer would be able to somehow go into the warp to get this stuff done. So... Like, I don't... Basically, I think the nature of this thing is we are in cohorts somehow, or a pawn thereof, of this here strange tentacle and whatever thing is on top of it or around it, or whatever it is a strange tentacle of. Was that the way around? Yes, it is. We're over here. There. And so... Like, I'm tending to suspect that... Is there anything else we need to do here? That's going to be fine. This is going to defend against a number of bases. Maybe these guys will even taunt some of these things, because they will be maybe a source of pollution that's even bigger than the base. Maybe. How are we doing over here? We have backed up the uranium. Okay. So, and then we have also backed up the oil, I have ranted for long enough that all of these things are just full. Okay, so we should probably just... Do we need to go back and get... Do we go back and get the harvester? I think we just leave it full. I think we leave the oil full, but I think we go and grab the uranium mining, because we just don't need that much uranium mining, and it kind of blocks the chests for whenever we want to get anything else. And yeah, I think there's some kind of schism between the Elder Gods. And one of them that includes... Oh, I should probably defend this buffer. One of them that includes this tentacle and whatever else is there has decided that it's going to be a good idea to... we actually can't get rid of all the laser defense until... Yeah, we got to have some of those power poles so that the laser turrets are still there, but mostly I want to just get all this stuff on the belts rather than like picking up all the belts and whatever. That we'll come back and pick up the rest of this later. These guys will empty up as we process it out. Yeah, I think there's like one of these tentacles has decided that it's going to be a good idea to use an engineer to help steal this blister and help burn some of these parallel worlds and help trace this glyph, but I don't really know why, and I probably wouldn't know why. Like, I don't expect it to make sense, but also whatever. Yeah, and then the other interesting thing about this is that going to be on the platform, is that, yeah, we previously noted that this platform is an odd number of tiles high and wide because it's symmetric around the center of this reactor, which is 5x5. However, the rail grid is a 2x2 thing, so all of these are kind of offset. Like these walls were previously built in line with the edge of a prior size of platform, so these are symmetrical around the core the blister, but there's no space between the walls and rail on this side, but then one space between walls and rail on this side, and also one space at the top, but on this bottom side there is no space between walls and rail. So basically every single one of these four sides has a different, like, essentially layout of rail and as a consequence laser turrets. And so are they are all, yeah, all of these are on the platform, whereas I think this one, if we grab this thing here, we're going to get a bunch of, we're going to get a bunch of undergrounds we don't care about, but this will be, did I want them one tile? I think I concluded that we can hang these things. Yeah, I think we can hang these things one tile off the side of the platform, so we can just complete our laser defenses over here, and then, yeah, just not get any of those belts because we don't care about the belts, even though they would kind of lead in here. And yeah, so we've got kind of this weird thing, which I'm still not sure what I want to be doing with this rail. In fact, it's absolutely not worth taking my time up there. I just wanted to get those lasers in play, because we are getting attacked over here, and the interesting thing I'm realizing now is I've spent so much time going on about various things that it's now 45 minutes into the episode, and we don't have landmines anywhere, and that's apparently okay? Have we... I mean, have we... These things still have yellow ammo in them. Which means we're not even really firing those guns. So I reckon we like see how long it takes to get towards Biggs and maybe drop the landmines before Biggs. Maybe we worry about that. Yeah, let's see. Walls being damaged. That's going to be at the harvesters, and I don't really care. And yeah, I think the thing I eventually want to do with these rails is, like, we previously figured out that any wagon that's here in any direction, we can just put stuff in this wagon and it teleports downstairs, but also if the wagons are moving, it still all works. So what I think I want to do is try and figure out how to have a rail system that never stops. So there's no station here that trains park at and then leave again. It just, trains drive through from one side to the other. So if there's like a copper mine connected here and an iron mine connected here, and we have a train that goes from copper mine to iron mine on that line with nothing else between, then the train will just drive backwards and forwards, and all the ore will also just teleport downstairs from the moving train, which I like a lot. I think that's going to be pretty funny. I enjoy. But then also, yeah, let's go back to talking about the green chips, because it's supposed to be an episode about green chips, isn't it? We have, I guess because things have been stationary, we actually have a buffer of green chips now. Because, yeah, the thing I wanted to do is all these green chips down here, fine, but if we can make the green chips on this floor, then we get productivity bonus from the beacon, which sounds like it's going to be pretty big. Do we need... Yeah, we don't need more fuel, it's fine. So maybe I just want to put... maybe I want to have... In the same way that we've got a bunch of blueprints for... I don't want to be down here, I want to be over here. In the same way that we've got a bunch of blueprints for dropping landmines down, maybe I want a blueprint like here or something, or that can... I was going to say can slot into any of the four sides, but it's not going to slot into any of the four sides because they're all different sizes, because the rail grid doesn't line up with the platform grid. But the idea of being a train-fed smelting thing here that can then just... Because the other thing we can do is we can have a wagon here and then just empty belts of stuff into the wagon to be teleported downstairs, so I could have some kind of smelting array that gets fed into a wagon that teleports downstairs, where I then make the green chips with giant productivity bonuses, which is a thing that I like. Yeah, we can get rid of all of those. You guys probably have stuff you don't care about. Have you got a lot of laser turrets? Of course you do, because I was using you to build the perimeter. You probably want to keep the fastness surges. And you also have rail, because I was wondering if that was going to be a thing. I was trying to find the gun turrets. Do you guys have gun turrets? Because you don't need gun turrets. You do have gun turrets. Okay. I was going to give all of this stuff over here. These guys have run out of the boring rocks, so we're going to do that. This is, yeah, super worthwhile, good content, manually moving all buffers around. Yeah, this guy, as long as there's a bit of space in this box, and this will also, yeah, so we could also just get, this is going to pull all the, we've stopped the uranium mining, oh well, never mind. Yeah, let's figure out how to build a silo. Can we have, yeah, stuff I don't want in my inventory. I don't want this in my inventory. You guys aren't running because you don't have rail, because I turned the rail off, because we've filled up all the science buffers, because we do not, and we've also filled up all these steel buffers, which is pretty hilarious. And yeah, let's talk about why the smelting array is set up in the way that it is, because we've got a 1 to 2 thing going on, because I wanted to make sure that we were getting all the value we could from this beacon. So all of these guys are, we get like free productivity for our iron plates basically, and the difference in crafting speeds with this one with 2 speed mods and these guys that are slower means that we're doing a better job of using up all the productivity of the steel plates and then also the steel, which also have some more productivity in there. So we're getting a lot of steel out. All of this is backed up. All of the stone buffer is now backed up. We kind of need... Yeah, we actually kind of need to create some space in my inventory so we can handcraft some silos, because that's probably going to be what happens. And then we also need to, yeah, we've actually got enough copper there, so I guess we get rid of this stuff and get rid of this stuff. Sure. Yeah, 50 minutes. Don't know if we're on big biters yet. Actually, do we see any big biter corpses near the harvesters? Not sure. Anyway, we got to figure out where we are making. Yeah, we got to get a lot of solar panels somewhere. Warp is confusing. I think, because I was trying to figure out if I could put a solar panel assembler here, and I don't think it works. I don't quite think that it works, because even if I do a long-handed inserter here, I don't think this gets, like, if this is solar panels, I don't, yeah, this one gets copper but not chips, which means we would have to figure out how to get, okay, so let's do that differently. Let's have this move down by 1. Why are you not connected to anything? We need the beacon powered. Yeah, so then we can have these two through here. This can be solar panels. You can have everything from my inventory. You also need a source of steel. Is there... I think this also doesn't work. Which is a shame, because we no longer have a place where, like, now we can get... Yeah, now we can get the... Actually, we can get both of these in from... Why do I not have fast inserters? Okay, let's make some fast inserters from green chips. We want these green chips. Yeah, make me 50 more fast inserters. So we can get both of the things that we need, but we also need... We no longer have the spaces around this thing to get both a box of steel in, and then also a place out into which we can put, like, yeah, so if this thing here is, I'm just more power poles around the place, if this one is steel going in, then there's actually no other spaces that we can get the solar panels out, which is a bit of a shame. Where else do we have... Over here? Where else? I mean, because this is... Because if I move this down by one, then this can go underground, but then we're also still limited at the rate of the stack inserter, which is probably still fine. But we've also got the steel here, so maybe that is the deal, and we've got enough for... Actually, we've got enough for probably all of the satellites we want. We can probably just change the scale to solar panels at this point. And it needs green chips, so we're just going to do... We're going to do some nasty hackery, and we're just going to go, you know, let's just, you know, you need green chips. Hey, here's 3,000 green chips. Have fun making a bunch of solar panels. Okay, so we've got solar panels underway, which is a big deal. We also wanted one silo, so let's get one silo's worth of stuff. You guys are not backed up at all, which is fantastic. I've still got enough stuff to make... Yeah, we've got some things in here which we don't want. Okay, what else do we need for a silo? We're going to need 3 Prod Mod 3s, which we have. We're going to need pipes. We're going to need electric engines, steel and concrete, and inventory space, actually. So let's... Yeah, remember that somehow... Oh, and also we're going to need radars. Can we get over here? One of you guys in a position to make radars? I'm not sure you are. So give me some of these, and then also, yeah, other places that we could also just get that stuff from. Make me a bunch of radars. We're going to need a bunch of radars, because satellites are 1 radar or 5 radars? 5 radars. And then all the rest of that stuff we've got, as long as we get a pile of radars, for which we need more plate, which is fine. We have that. Yeah, still a little bit disappointed that assembly didn't work. It would have been a giant mess. There's nothing else I need to leave there. Let's leave some of this stuff over here. Yeah, then we've got an assortment of kind of... okay, so my garbage chests are in fact kind of full, and then we've got... Yeah, we'll take more of these green chips. We'll take more of these green chips and put them down here, because he wants them. Copper. Yeah, I think I'm going to clean out my inventory some other time, as long as... And I can now get enough stuff. 10 of those, and then... Oh yeah, pipes was a thing that was over here, which I could have got earlier, but didn't. Electric engines, we've got over here. Is it 200 electric engines? 200 or 100 electric engines? 200 electric engines, and now we just need the concrete. And we've also got some damaged gun turrets, and then also just a lot of gun turrets, of which we probably don't need all of them. They did good work previously, we just don't need that many of them now. And then on the surface, we should have over here, pile of concrete. Yeah, take all that concrete, craft a silo, put all the concrete back. This guy needs stone, and yeah, now we're actually super full up on all of these things. All those blue chips I need, and also all of these speed modules. We're going to take all of these, and we're going to take all of these yeah. And we're just going to keep making RCUs through that kind of awful sushi thing. We're going to keep some of these so we can beacon the silo that we're making. And then, yeah, how many of these things have we actually made yet? We've nearly made enough for a satellite, which is compelling. So now we just need to figure out how and where this thing is going to happen, and I think that's one of the reasons why I was moving this perimeter out. Can we... Is this the right size to go here? These guys are all on the platform, and I'm okay with that. So that means with that bit of perimeter done, we can get all of these guys out of the way, and these are more turrets that the base doesn't actually need. And that, I think, means we can put like a silo, a silo anywhere, really. We can put any of these things in the places that we want. Let's briefly check on how these places are doing and whether or not... Yeah, they're not even really getting attacked. We are... Oh, this place is getting attacked. That is not what I expected. Sure, whatever. You're going to be good for a while. Let's figure out how we can get the rocket fuel through, because that's kind of a big deal. I do have blue undergrounds. Is there... This line here looks like it could be a good place to spaghetti some of this through, which is of course what we're going to do about it. Yeah, sure, like that. Do I have... I have a bunch of bullets that I don't want, that I actually wanted to, yeah, get stuck in the teleporters again. Good job. Oh yeah, also, yeah, we can't put... Yeah, the plan was never to put... We already had the plan of putting the yellow bullet assembler here when we eventually run down this quite large supply, so we're still good for there for a while. Yeah, we now need to actually get onto satellites and stuff. Give me all of these things. I've got the radars. What do we even need for a satellite? Low density structure, rocket fuel, more blue chips. Sure, all of those things we've got on the surface, because that's where we're making those things. And we are, of course, going to handcraft the first couple of satellites, because why not? And then the place where this was fitting through was like so, but we can move these back a bit. Yeah, so we've got a rocket fuel plan. I need some amount of rocket fuel for the satellite, and then I also need more low density structure, but that's fine, because we've got... That's a box of sulfur. That will not help me craft a satellite. Yeah, now we can... It's a lot of... Okay, sure. Yeah, we can now perpetuate the myth that we will be launching rockets to help get home, because we are not doing that at all. Why not? Let's just slap it here. There's no disadvantages to changing my mind about where I want this to go later. And we do have... I'm not going to need all these beacons at all, are we? Yeah, whatever. Speed 1s, I mean, I did craft a bunch of speed 2s. I was thinking about using these for pump jacks, but we also don't really need pump jack stuff. So, why don't we have... Should we not have... Is one of these facing the wrong way? Oh, okay, that's a yellow belt. That is a good reason why this would not be working. I wonder if at this point, whether or not we've got enough solar panels, and we do, to just go and make a second one of these. So let's get, yeah, more of this stuff. Yeah, this is, I mean, we probably expected a mess here. It's probably fine. And then, am I just putting this stuff in this box myself, like the space science? Am I just putting it in that box and having everything work? Maybe, okay. Do I have... I'm going to need some more rocket fuel. I mean, yeah, at this point, do I want to go back to using... At this point, do I want to go back to using solid fuel in my car? Because... the rocket fuel could actually be rockets at this point. Interesting, not sure. Yeah, let's just take solid fuel from here. We can have another satellite. We can have another thing going in here, and then we can also just, yeah, we're fine, yeah. Because this box can be where we put satellites, which I'm sure I've made. Here we go. This thing we want, I mean, that doesn't matter, but we'll do that carefully anyway. And we're going to be launching rockets, which is exciting. And we've spent an hour on this world, and we Have not put landmines down, which is interesting. We are seeing big biters and big spitters and big snappers at this point. In fact, over here looks like a place where we should be putting that just quickly. These ones we won't need, which is going to help, and there is some coverage here, but I also don't want to miss the first rocket launch, because it's kind of a big deal. And we are limited by... We're not really limited by stack insertion, are we? I think we are limited by beacon speed, so we're going to do that quickly because we can. And now we are a little bit limited by insertion speed, but we're also going to be limited by crafting speed because we're just not making those things at the rate we really need to. But yeah, all of... maybe I should pull this back as well, because all of these buffers are full now. And I don't really want to defend this thing against big biters if I don't want to, but also the laser turrets and green ammo guns are going to get everything done fine. We should probably just keep stabilizing, because we're probably going to be here for a couple of minutes yet. And yeah, we should be able to observe a rocket being launched, which is exciting. We're launching a rocket. I wonder if we get a victory screen. Do we get the victory screen to say congratulations, we have left the planet because we're trying to get away from this reactor, even though we are in fact not going anywhere away from the reactor at all. So we're going to launch a rocket into regular space, which is pretty exciting. We're definitely not going to launch a rocket into warp space. We do. It is in fact considered a victory, which is cool because we are now just here. Let's grab all of this stuff, and then we'll just delay and make another rocket. I think we've got, based on how full these things are, we're actually limited by the amount of rocket fuel we have. Like, we've got giant buffers of everything else, in which case we're just going to casually slap this in here. But the other issue we're going to have is that we were petrochem limited, and we were already petrochem limited, which is why I'd handcrafted a bunch of these oil refineries. So we've now got one rocket full of... I mean, we could also figure out how to get this downstairs a little more. We could even use this thing, because I'm probably not going to need stone and space science at the same time. But yeah, this box here is where we're going to just drop that and be fine with it, and now we're going to get space science. But what space science do we want with our first 1,000 science? The armor is actually a strong choice. The beacon is a strong choice. And there's a couple of other things. Warp nukes, modules, sure. I think because we've got at least, like, we've got two satellites that we've already crafted. So I think we're going to get the warp armor and the beacon, and the beacon is already... Yeah, we could just slap another prod mod in that and get even more stuff out. We actually have... Oh, wait. 50% productivity here. We've got more than 50% productivity in our labs, which means the first two rockets we will get more than 3,000 science. The next one is 2. Okay, let's look at getting a third satellite so that our first 3 satellites can be warp armor, warp factory beacon 9, warp factory beacon 10. Takes another 2,000. Yeah. So if we get, and we probably at this point do have, yeah, we do. Yeah, we've got. This is very strange. This is not how. I mean, this is exactly how the... Do we have enough radars? Yes. This is exactly how the Warptorio engineer would be playing an automation game, is handcrafting satellites. With... Yeah, give me some of the stuff. About that much of that. I think we only need the rocket fuel, of which we need to extend the petrochem. That's the other reason why we were kind of down here doing this thing. And then we also need... We need more prod mods? Okay. We can go and get prod mods, that's fine. But yeah, I think this thing disappears. I think several of these things were going to disappear anyway, because we've also got the Roboport coverage around the outside, which is fine. We're going to keep doing that. And then we also just need more petrochem at this point. Let's slap another 2 of these things in here, because we can. That's another rocket going up, which is exciting. And then we also need, we need prod mods, and then we need to have the rest of this connection. Why? That should all work, shouldn't it? Oh, because we took this underground thing here as well. That's actually not going to... Yeah, we need to redo that. Cool. Things that aren't going to be too difficult, because we've also got it hanging around the edge here, so that's also fine. So I guess this just goes further? Sure, because the thing is we can't actually get... Can we get another one of these in here? Not quite. This bit of rail intersects with the edge of this pipe, so that pattern would have to go differently. But let's get the prod mods so that we can have all of those things running at the rate that we want to. Do we want more of these upgraded? Maybe. Do I want more of these upgraded? Yes. I've still got red chips on me, which means we could take a couple of these and then just go, hey, let's upgrade. Yeah, just handcrafting. Handcrafting is fine. Everyone likes handcrafting. You know what? Keep going with those, because I did also notice that overall we were short on plastic. I think these are just landmines, yeah. That's one of the things we're going to deal with again. You can go in there. I've got the third satellite that needs to go here. Although, are we... Oh yeah, because these things do have increased stack size. It's probably safe to put in another satellite. This will be less of a concern as we get to a point that we are relying on the craft speed of these things. But we've already got, yeah, we've got enough stuff for like 5 or 6. And then also let's, yeah, we want to arrange these slightly differently so that maybe we want to even buffer these differently, but I'm just not going to yet. I wanted to make sure that these assemblers... basically, I want to make sure that all of this... that these don't stop. We need space in all of these things, even as we are pulling these ones. In fact, yeah, let's move all of this stuff to down here, because these are the ones that are going to empty first. And this hopefully means that none of this rocket fuel stops, because we want to keep making rocket fuel. We probably also want to make sure that that thing is powered. Did I pick up? I picked up a couple more bots at some point, which can go back in that network. These guys are not running because they don't have water. Did I break the water feed? I did break the water feed. Because one of these is... There was a different kind of water feed somewhere that made all of that not quite the same, but it's fine. Okay, so we have just increased the number of these things. Can we get a beacon in here? Yes, but it only hits 2 things. I think we're still fine with that. I think we're just going to throw that in there because we can. Have a pair of speed 1 modules. I'm probably good for power grid. And then we can have these guys run a little faster. I think I probably need more heavy cracking at this point, but it's probably fine. And yeah, we should now have a lot of space science that we can pick up. 2,000 there. Yeah, 2,000 is the number of space science that we were expecting to get. And so now we can... where is my box for space science? Over here. So I think the thing we need to do at this point is look at what we need. 5 light armor, 5 heavy armor, 5 modular armor, 5 power armor, 5 power armor Mark II. So we actually need a bunch of speed module 2s and efficiency module 2s. So maybe I don't even have enough. I don't have enough efficiency module 2s, which means this thing is going to move to efficiency modules. Because we need a bunch of efficiency modules to upgrade, so getting all those upgrades online is going to be important. Yeah, 5 light armor, 5 heavy armor, which means I want over here, this... One of these boxes of things is where I dropped all the previous armor. Is that heavy armor? Yeah, so that's actually my armor stash at the moment. I've got logistic spots in here. I also noticed that I had logistic spots. Maybe we picked them up from somewhere and I kind of don't care about them, so they can all live in there. And then, yeah, these things I picked up from just warp chests that were just around the place. So we want 5 heavy armor. We want 5 light armor, which is going to be a bunch of this. some copper, and then some steel. And so we want another 5 light armor, 4 heavy armor, because we've already got 1. Modular armor is steel and red chips. Of course, we are handcrafting all of these. We'll just put it in a queue. We want 4 of those because we've got the one we're wearing. We need to remember to take all the gear out beforehand. And then steel processing units. And should I have limited those? I don't think I should have limited those. And we also got more than we needed there. So yeah, it would absolutely be better to build the silo on this level to get the productivity bonuses from it. But also, I don't want to launch rockets into the warp. I think that's a bad idea. And then yeah, these will also just get at some point in between episodes, probably. I think the remaining thing I want to do at this point, especially as... Oh yeah, I knew red science was going to be a problem, isn't it? Because these things get less out as we... The way that the speed bonuses interact with everything else having productivity, and the red science being mostly speed moduled means that we end up short of red science as everything else is going, which I think overall I'm probably pretty fine with. Yeah, we can just... Yeah, things are going to continue to be a mess is fine. Yeah, I think the other thing I wanted to do is... I want to have some pattern that fits in the width of this thing. Actually, let's just check. Yeah, 18 we're fine. That makes green chips with some kind of direct insertion pattern. Landmines is fine. But the interesting thing about that is, with all of these productivity bonuses, yeah, other reasons why Warptorio and the Warp World is just upside down is if I have... And I also don't have the productivity modules to make this work as well. We're going to have to automate that as well. Maybe I should have, assemblers doing some of this stuff. It's fine. It's a chill run. We're pretty relaxed about things. If I'm doing coils into green chips, what usually happens is these 4 productivity modules means that we need, because of the ratios of coil to green chips, 1.5 iron to 1.4 copper, considering for this entire arrangement as a ratio, considering these productivity bonuses. But because of the productivity beacon, we actually need more iron to make the green chips than copper, which is weird. And looking at this now, I think actually a thing that we might want to do is some kind of 2-to-1 pattern, because if we give this thing a couple of speed mods, we've still got outrageous productivity. This is now twice. Yeah, that's actually too many. We actually want crafting 2.2 productivity. Maybe, yes, it's a little, yeah, it's kind of in between, isn't it? Oh well. I think we do a 1-to-2 pattern, because this means that the outrageous productivity of these coils better matches how many green chips we're making. And if this, okay, so we wanted to try and fit all of this in here and have some pattern for this. And also then be able to beacon it, because of course we are. So I think what we're doing is stack inserter, stack inserter, stack inserter here. I think we're gonna borrow a thing that's similar to this pattern, or is this pattern? I don't think it's gonna be quite that pattern. I think we can have 2 stack inserters here and go underneath with the copper, which is, yeah, and then have another underground with the iron, have another belt of copper here, and then in this space we can throw another beacon. And then we speed module this, and then all of these things are... Yeah, now we can also just... I think I want to do the other thing that I considered elsewhere but didn't quite get around to, is that we can just do, yeah, fast is stack inserter... If we're taking one iron plate and we've got stack inserters here, we are going to need stack inserters there. Are we going to need... I think we're just going to need fast inserters here. I think that's going to be more or less the pattern that we want. And then this thing can also... I think this thing here is going to be our pattern. So we're going to have a green chips buffer here, directly out of the machines. This actually wants to be this thing. I need to figure out exactly where this is going to go, but this is now our tileable green chips pattern, of which we still have a pile of space. I guess that's also kind of the thing that I hear of, like, yeah, we had the steel thing, and then we also figured out how to patch this other thing in between. Oh, the thing I do want to do at this point, because these attacks are probably getting pretty large, is, yeah, discontinue all of this stuff. We are going to pull back from this position. Do I have the inventory space for this? Yes, good. Because we just don't need that stone. We have buffered a lot of it. Bots can, yeah, I guess the house bots are just, okay, it was kind of moving. Yeah, house bots can help us with all of that stuff. Where's the landmines pattern? Because we are seeing a number of, yeah, we're seeing a number of decent-sized corpses over here, and we are 76 minutes in. So, you know, quite a lot of that. Put a bunch of landmines around the place. Did I carry... I did bring some steel. I was just going to wander over to the... Oh, yeah, that's right. Concrete was also a little bit sad, wasn't it? So we can pick up some of this stuff. I don't want this at all, but you guys can just, like, handle things. It's fine. Yeah, let's get a bunch of concrete, and we're just going to refeed... Yeah, we're going to refeed the concrete assemblers again, because they are also hand-fed, because of course they are. And we are waiting on satellites, because we were only ever handcrafting those. Cool, good job. So we're making more concrete, which is fine. We probably do just want to have an assembler here that is making satellites, because we kind of filled up our handcrafting queue. Oh well. And then, especially as we can just also have that business, and then we can also just have like another box with a stack inserter into which we can put all... Yeah, we're just going to do a transfer. It's fine. I did want steel. I did want steel for other stuff. We're going to do this, and we're going to wander back up here. Oh, this, yeah. The steel transfer into landmines is a little bit annoying, because we've got to get the explosives out so we can put the steel in. Oh well. And then all of that can go in there, and then you can go back, and then, yeah, what was I... We wanted more steel, because we have just picked up a bunch of explosives, so we're going to convert those into something somewhat useful. I don't want that steel. I want all of these things. Like, all of those things? Yeah, we can pick up all those things. That's great. And then we also want more radars. Cool. This is not where we want it to be. Yeah, all of these things, have fun with that. The other thing you needed was blue chips, of which we have a lot. So let's also just do one of those transfers. Again, wrong place. Yeah, give me all of these. Give me some of these as well. Sure. And then radars, I think we're going to need to... Yeah, this assembler here can make radars. We've kind of been using it to pivot between a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, you just get on making a lot of radars. And then, yeah. Do you have gear wheels? Yeah, one of these things, whatever. It's fine. We got a lot of radars. So now you can have, first of all, you just have anything that, okay, not all those radars. I will need some number of radars. And yeah, then over here, landmines, get out of my inventory. I've still got engines that I don't want. We're launching another rocket. That's pretty exciting. I don't actually think these defenses are going to break for a while, are they? Big biters, decent lasers, at nighttime, so it's kind of tricky to see. Are you guys even firing? You guys have still got the yellow ammo. We're not even using the yellow ammo yet. Let's keep stabilizing. Yeah, so, we've still got all the crude oil we want. We probably... Yeah, I think these turrets need to come down as well. These guys are still just going to keep doing their thing. It's fine. We're losing a couple of landmines. We're making more landmines. That's also completely fine. Yeah, we've got some buffers of things to unpack. We've got a bunch of handcrafting to do. This is actually kind of approaching episode length, so I think this might be the first episode where we just call it here, because there's still stuff to do, but we're not... At least I don't feel threatened yet, and it's gone another daytime. We can probably handle those guys again. Yeah, I think we're going to call it here. We're just going to click through, continuing to stabilize. We'll get the warp armor tech. We'll get some of this beacon tech. We are now... I mean, we've somewhat automated... Item ingredient shortage. What are you short of? Oh, solar panels. Yeah, that's understandable. I was still making those solar panels downstairs. But also, does this inserter have... No, okay, so we're actually not making... Are we getting the science out fast enough? Apparently we are. Yeah, more solar panels? No more solar panels. Oh, because green chips. Yeah. Remember how this episode was about green chips. I said at the beginning, I think I said at the beginning, here are all the things that need blue chips, and as a result, green chips. And as a result, these green chips. So yeah, so I think we're gonna... I'll toy with this. I think we are going to go for the plan of build some kind of robot-initiated smelting on the outside, and then put a... not one of those, one of these, like somewhere on one of these intersections into which we just feed stuff. And then pull out from here a belt of iron and copper plates, which we use to feed this green chips. And the thing I'm thinking about is, can we get... I mean, okay, we can also just jump it across the warp. Because I was wondering about, can we... Like, we kind of left space in here to be able to get things under the labs, but we can also just come over here, because I think this... Yeah, this spot here is where we would be able to... In fact, what I think we want to do... Yeah, because this is going to take everything that... This inserter will take everything that the robot frames need, but also the blue chips might end up short. So if we have a belt that goes like here, then we will be able to top up, and then this probably wants to prioritize to the right, which means that these guys will only get overflow from whatever's left over, but we're still making those downstairs, which don't get all the productivity bonuses, which I'm not super happy with. But then the new green chips we build can supply just these for machines making blue chips, which we are not actually short of at the moment. So maybe we are able to go and just build that armor. But yeah, this is going to be what we do for the moment. Pretty happy that we got a lot of stuff done. We got a rocket going up. We got... Oh yeah, I can get rid of these from my inventory. Do I have anything that you guys have? No. Okay. Yeah, pretty happy with... We need to upgrade a bunch of modules. The power grid is fine. The perimeter seems fine. These guys had all their mining turned off and are still just full buffers and fine. These guys are also fine. Yeah, we just got... Oh, wait. That's a super interesting situation that I've just noticed is kind of blocked in a way that might be problematic. Oh, and remember when I put this stuff down here? We need to get all that back because otherwise it'll be in the way. Yeah, interesting things. This steel here has kind of backed up into this chest, and we kind of need that to not be full so that there's actually spaces to put engines on. So we've got to figure out something to do with all the steel. Yeah, interesting situation. Yeah, these guys actually ran out of engines. Do I have engines to feed? No, it's fine. Yeah, so this inserter being faster means that this belt will clear up and will go back to being fine. I was not blocked on blue science anyway, although blue science was low, which is interesting. So yeah, so we've got a lot of steel to play with, which we don't necessarily need for anything in particular. Let's also grab this steel, and also let's go and grab, not down there, let's go and grab some of this steel to keep all these machines running. We have a lot of resources now. So I'm pretty happy that the base is. I mean, is it happy? It's got way too much steel. We are also. You don't have space science because this inserter is running the wrong way, because the space science is actually supposed to be on this belt. That is how the inserters are set up. So that's a fun thing to notice. I think we just briefly correct this as actually the last thing we do this episode. So yeah, so now that's fixed. Everyone has all the science they need. I'll think more about a green chips plan and plug that in somewhere. We'll see how long this lasts, and I think we can maybe even stay here a while. In fact, we're out of coal for plastic. So there's a couple of other things to tag in. It's mostly fine. These guys are still also just completely fine. Actually, let's wander over there. Yeah, it's pretty fine. I mean, these gun turrets are still not even shooting anything, so we don't even need to do anything at this point. We are just safe. I'm kind of interested to see how much it takes to get to behemoths, but I think also we might be... Oh wait, remember this bit down here that I said, hey, we need to upgrade this at some point? We kind of didn't, and we are kind of holding, but I think we need to go and like either pull back that position or repair it later. But yeah, most of all pretty fine. Yeah, I think we will... Yeah, I'll figure out where the next episode wants to start. Maybe it's at the beginning of a warp zone. Maybe it's halfway through a warp zone when some stuff is set up so that we can see how far we push into the madness of here are all these biters and here's when the defense actually gets a bit tricky. And also once I've figured out rail stations and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what we did today. We launched some rockets to get away from the unstable warp reactor, and then didn't. We are still trying to get back to humanity to share this warp tech with the rest of civilization, except we're not. We're going to settle a world somewhere. And yeah, we are generally pretty unreliable. It's fine.